Hey y'all, how's it going? All right, y'all. I hope y'all are ready for this testimony. I've been wanting to share this with y'all ever since January 1st. So I hope y'all enjoy this. I hope it helps somebody. I really believe that a lot of the things, I've been feeling this way for a while, y'all. And I listened to this sermon today. And side note, I started listening to this pastor, Stephanie Ike. Y'all should go check her out. And so I was packing orders today and I was listening to her, and she was saying that like sometimes like people associate blessings with like it being like something good and like something that's like you're excited about. But she says sometimes God will bless you with a problem so that you can go through it and overcome it, strengthen your faith. And well, she didn't say all that, but that's how I feel. She did say God will bless you with a problem, and you know, you go through that and then you share that with other people, and in turn they're blessed, right? And I've been feeling like this for a while now, like about my business. I feel like things that I went through business wise and not business wise, when I share like what God has done for me, I feel like I'm supposed to, even though like it's vulnerable and it's like, cause some of the stuff isn't that great, you know. Some of the stuff that I've had to deal with or go through is not really that great, but hopefully God will use my story, use my testimony to bless somebody else. So I hope somebody is blessed from this, because this is a good story. A happy story, if you will, unlike some of the other things that I've shared. But let's get into it, y'all. Let me pull this up. Where is that? Here we go. All right. So I'm going to be 100% transparent with y'all. I try to be very honest because I feel like, one, that's how you should be. And two, I feel like y'all can relate to this type of stuff because y'all are probably going through it or will go through it. So I've shared this numerous times, but a little bit about me. I've always been an independent woman, and I don't say that to like toot my own horn, but it was very, very difficult for me to leave my corporate job in March. No, not March. In the beginning of COVID, so maybe that was like March. I left my corporate job, my guaranteed salary, I left, and I went and I started working with my husband. He's a full-time entrepreneur, and y'all, this wasn't part of what I was going to say, but I feel like I just have to tell y'all because God is good. So I left my corporate job, my guaranteed salary of you was going to get this every other week, right? I left that. My contribution to my house, because that's how I've always been. I want to be able to do for myself. I don't, even though like your husband's supposed to be your provider, I've just always been like, want to take care of me. I've always like had to, not that, I won't say had to, but I've just wanted to. Like, I've never wanted to depend on a man to take care of me, right? So I left my corporate job, went to help my husband with his business. And in turn, I started wholesale, okay? So I've been doing wholesale for a little over a year. But through working with him, I didn't really like contribute a lot to our house. Okay. I contributed in other ways, and he would always remind me like, Danielle, you do this, you do that. And obviously I was a great asset to his company. But I wasn't the one bringing in the money, okay? And that was hard, let me tell you. And then, you know, a little over, or no, just about a year ago. No, not a year ago. Not quite a year. Not quite a year ago, I started working full-time for myself. So I left corporate America at the beginning of COVID, started working with my husband, wasn't guaranteed any type of salary, right? Then I left working with my husband March of last year, and I've been working full-time for myself, all right? It's important for y'all to kind of have a timeline of what happened so that I can share with y'all how entrepreneurship typically works. So, when I started working with my husband, I launched my business, Naturally Created for You. Okay, April 30th, 2020, I launched my business. That first full year in business, I did not net any type of profit. I took a loss. I was sad. And my husband reminded me, Danielle, most companies don't have a profit their first year. And I was like, oh, I guess this is okay. I'm not a total failure, right? So then the second year came, and I worked really, really hard that second year. 2021, I worked very hard. But for those of y'all who know my story, towards the end of 2021, I felt God calling me to strictly do wholesale, right? And so my business was kind of just, I was doing all this stuff that previously resulted in something, but it was like things came to a standstill. And I was spending a lot of money on marketing, but it wasn't producing anything because God was trying to get my attention, okay? So 2021, again, I did not net a profit in business. Okay, so my second year, like doing the business, I didn't net any type of profit. So I was okay with that because I had already had, come to terms with that my first year in business, that, hey, this entrepreneurship thing is not a get rich quick scheme. This stuff takes time. Like, yeah, some people have a great start, but you're not that person right now. So just keep the course and keep investing in your knowledge and getting better at what you're doing, and the profit will eventually come. You'll eventually not be at a loss, but it takes time. Okay, so then we approach 2022, and 2022 is the year that I focused majority on wholesale, and I didn't really run my retail business, okay? Because I wasn't supposed to, all right? 2022 was a beautiful year, and it was exhausting at the very same time. I'm sure y'all have been there, like, you're excited, it's like things are going well, but you're also exhausted because it's so much to do all the time, especially when you're just running your business by yourself. So 2022 for me was figuring a lot of stuff out, taking a lot of risk, just focusing, head down, doing stuff, coming up with strategies, testing different things. And for the first time in a while, because mind you, I left my corporate job, and although I was helping my husband, it was his business that was generating money for our family, right? So when I started doing this wholesale business, I started making my own money, and I was hype. I felt like, wow, I'm contributing to my family. Like, I'm back doing it. Like, you know, like I was something, you know. And I always give God the glory for everything that happens in my business and my life, everything. But it was kind of just like, you know, you kind of got like a chip on your shoulder type thing. Like, I felt like I was humble about it, but like deep down, I was like, ooh, I'm, you know, making money, and, you know, some of this money is going, you know, I'm putting money into the house again, right? Y'all, I can't help how I think. I'm just being honest. So there was several times throughout 2022, and I've spoke about it before when I went live with y'all. There's been several times in 2022 that I got ahead of myself and I put the money before my purpose. Okay. And I always reeled it back in. But I just want to be honest with y'all. It's easy to do. We're human. And that's why I always say, like, if you bought my playbook, the very first thing I talk about is purpose. Because if you are not in your purpose, there's really not much I can do for you. Okay? It all starts with your purpose and making sure that you're doing what God called you to do, and you're you're clear about that. Not that you have to be 100%, I know every little thing, but like you got to know this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? And so there was several times in 2022 that I got ahead of myself and was like, how can I make more money? How can I do this? How can I get this much? You know? And it started like wearing on me. And that's why I said, like, I always will reel it back in, because I'm like, I don't want to be like that. Like, I don't ever want to be a business owner that I am so worried about making money that I'm putting that above serving my community, serving my customers. And I'm telling y'all, nobody is above this, okay? Nobody is above this. So I've had to check myself several times in 2022. So we're moving in 2022. Okay, now we're at the end of 2022. We had our Black Friday sale. And I think it was sometime in November. I don't know if it was before the Black Friday sale or like right after. I can't really remember. But it was sometime in November. I was looking at my numbers and I was like, I could maybe hit 100,000 this year. Was it in November? It may have even been October. I apologize. So much has happened. It was October or November, because I remember I was on the phone with one of my coaches and I was like telling her that it was possible, and she was like, yeah, she was like, and once you make 100,000, you can make $1 million. And I was like, do what? Like, I started getting super hype. I was like, make $1 million? Me? I was like, anything is possible. You know, it is. Anything is possible when you are in purpose and you are allowing God to lead you. And if it's in his will, it's possible. So I think it was probably in October then. So I had my Black Friday sales and I was reviewing all the numbers. And I was like, man, I know what it was. I was thinking in October, I could make 100,000 between both businesses. And then I switched it and I was like, I want to make $100,000 in wholesale. My first year running this business, I want to make $100,000. And I could have. But let me tell y'all the story. So, I started planning. I started plotting. I started them emails. I started everything, y'all. And I was tired. Because it wasn't working. What I was doing was not working. And I said a prayer. I said, Lord, because then it got to the point I was like, do I really have to make 100,000 in one business? Can it just be like a combination? Because it was getting tight. And I said, you know what, Lord? If it is your will for me to make $100,000, oh, let me back up a little bit. So, meanwhile, while I was looking at the numbers and looking how close I was and looking how possible this could have actually been for me to hit this goal, I was like, oh, I better hit this goal, because if I don't hit this goal, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I'm going to be pissed off. Like, what could have done differently? What maybe I could have done 4 months ago, and just like being super down on myself, right? So, fast forward to what I was saying. So, I said a prayer because I was tired. I said a prayer. I said, Lord, if it's in your will for me to hit $100,000, then I will hit $100,000. But if it is not in your will, I will be okay. Release. And I stopped trying. Not that I stopped posting. I was still posting here and there up until like from Christmas to New Year's. I really didn't post at all just because I needed some family time. I needed to chill. But I didn't stop. I was still moving. I was still, running my business and whatnot. But I stopped focusing so much on how can I hit this goal. And I just kind of sat and was like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. If it's God's will, this is going to happen. If it's not his will, this is not the end of everything. Like, we have next year and the year after, right? And so on and so forth, as long as God has me here. So I stopped. And that is when I started thinking, how can I make 2023 better? What happened in 2022 that I can learn from to apply it to 2023? Okay. And so I started analyzing. Why my nose itching? I started analyzing all my data. I started looking over all my processes, just getting things super in order for 2023. And meanwhile, I was still shipping orders. I was still doing little things here and there, but I was not going hard trying to hit that goal because I had to step back. God didn't tell me to set that goal. I set that goal out of my own hunger to say, I did this, right? Let's be honest. God didn't give me that goal to set. He didn't put no type of number on anything. I just created that out of my desire to want to accomplish that. All right. That's what happened. Let's call it what it was. It was my own desire. So anyways, December came and December went, and we did not hit the goal of $100,000. But let me tell y'all what did happen. So I went through and I looked over all of my numbers. And I did this a couple of weeks ago. Not a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, I started this spreadsheet, right? And that's why it's important that you keep your expenses separate, okay? But I started this spreadsheet a couple of months ago so that I could track what my expenses are and then what my sales were for both of my businesses, and whatnot. So December came, December went, January 1st, I said, let's do this. Let's add it up. Let's see what happened. So I added everything up, and we came very, very close. We came extremely close to hitting 100,000, but we didn't. And I thought that I was going to feel, because you know how you know something, but you don't know exactly. I knew that it was 99% likely we didn't hit the goal, but maybe I missed something. You know, like maybe you're like, ooh, maybe I was off on this. Y'all, it wasn't off. We ain't hit it. I thought that I was going to be pissed. I thought that I was going to feel angry. I thought that I was going to feel like, you know, like, I suck at business. Like, what am I doing? I didn't have any of those feelings. I had complete peace. And I believe that Jesus gave me peace. Like, because me and my personality, I should have been pissed off. But I had so much peace doing this. Okay? I want to let y'all know that peace did not come from me. That peace came from above, because I was so close. And I even said, like, I'm going to be pissed off. I should have been pissed off. I was so close. But I had so much peace. And then once I started combing through things, I said, let me look further into this. I did not hit 100,000, but what else happened? So, as I shared at the beginning, both years previous, I had a net loss. Okay? Both years previous, I had a net loss. I spent more than what I brought in. That's what that means. I spent more than what I brought in. And that's normal. That's normal your first, really within the first, 5 or so years of business. That's normal for you not to make any money. You're investing in your business. You're learning. Like, how are you supposed to grow a business when you're investing in resources to grow your knowledge? You're investing in classes, right? You're making a lot of mistakes. Like, the mistakes never stop, but like, you're making a lot of mistakes quickly, back to back, trying to figure out, from even like your shipping, like, is this shipping rate right that I'm doing? Just little things. Like, you're just making a lot of different mistakes in the beginning. You're pricing things way too low in the beginning. So my first 2020 and 2021, I had a net loss. 2022, we had a profit. Okay. And we didn't have just any profit, y'all. All right. We didn't have just any profit. We didn't have just any profit, okay? I just want y'all to know, we didn't make $100,000, but we still made money. And okay, let me say. So we had a profit of over $30,000. Okay, $30,000 in profit. Mind was blown on January 1st. Blown. Okay. When I look at this number, I'm not giving y'all like the exact number, but when I look at this number, in 2016, okay, in 2016, after I left my abusive relationship and moved home, relocated states, moved home, lived in my mom's basement for 6 months, had to completely restart my entire life, went from making like 40 something $1,000 a year to getting paid. What was I getting paid? I think $10 an hour part-time. I didn't even see $30,000 in income in 2016. So my first year, not just running wholesale. I ran wholesale this whole year. That was my main focus. That's going to be my focus this year too. I already know. I'm okay. I thought that I was going to be able to work my other business, but I'm okay. I'm okay. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what God has me doing. I'm okay. My first year running business full time for myself, I profited over $30,000. So I said, okay, God, I didn't make $100,000, but I didn't lose money this year either. I made money. I made a lot of money. I made more money myself than I did in 2016 when he allowed me to leave that relationship. So when I tell y'all, my mind was blown. And if you stayed on here to listen to this entire testimony, I hope this encourages y'all that what you thought you wanted, you really didn't know what you wanted. Like, I thought I wanted to make $100,000, but I wasn't thinking, "Ooh, Danielle, make $100,000." That don't even make any sense now that I'm saying it. That don't even make any sense to say you want to make X amount of money. How much do you want to bring home to your family? How much do you want to bring home to your household? How much do you want to be able to give back? Because in November and in December, I made it my mission that I was going to start giving back to nonprofit to help women who were fortunate enough to leave their abusive relationships, but not fortunate enough to have a place to go. They're in housing and stuff like that, trying to get assistance and whatnot. So how can I help those women in that ministry? But the desire that I had to make $100,000, that was not God's desire for me. And I know that. I'm not upset about it. And I feel like the culture that we live in and the way social media portrays entrepreneurship and, here's how you can make have a sales month of $10,000. Here's how you can have a 6-figure year. Ooh, we made $1 million this year. That's in sales. So God shifted my mindset that it don't matter how much you make in sales. I could have made $100,000 in sales and only profited $2,000, or I could have had a net loss of $10,000. So I feel like God shifted my mindset. Like, it doesn't matter how much sales you get if you're not able to keep any of that money in your business. So, y'all, this is a huge testimony for me. So much was just like, I got so much clarity out of like what I really need to be focused on, right? Which is not how much money can you make, but out of the money that your business is making, how much are you able to keep? And if you're not able to keep any yet, that's fine, because I wasn't able to keep any of my money the first 2 years. But I'm saying, don't get so fixated on listening to people say, make this much, make this much, make that much, because you don't know how much they're actually getting to keep. So it was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. It was beautiful. It was mind-blowing. It touched me. I couldn't believe how God orchestrated all of this. Truly. And so at the end of all of this, in analyzing my entire business for 2022 and picking through what was good, what was bad, all of that, I made a conscious decision that in 2023, we were not going to be fixated on how much sales we were making. We were going to be thankful. Don't get me wrong. We're going to be thankful. We're going to give God the glory. But we're not going to be fixated on having a 10K month. We're not going to be fixated on having a 1K day. We're not going to be fixated on breaking our highest revenue for the day, right? We're not going to be fixated on that. We're going to be fixated on how can I get this company in front of as many people as possible so that they can hear what God is doing through this business and how I can help them start and grow their skincare business if they want to. And also focusing on allowing God to use me to share these types of stories to help other people in what they're going through. Because maybe your 2022, you were hard on yourself. Like, oh man, I was trying to make this much, but you know, I was short a lot from hitting my goal. Or maybe this was your first year in business and you took a loss. And, you know, maybe some people are looking at you like, you ain't make no money. That's how I was looking at myself the first year. But you know how people are like, you've been running that business, you've been doing all that work, and you still ain't made no money. Y'all know how people are. You know, just give you some encouragement that that's okay, because you never know how quickly God can turn things around. I'm telling y'all, you never know how quickly God can turn things around. And also, just because you did not hit the goal that you set for yourself, look deeper and see maybe God is trying to show you something else. Okay? So yeah, that was my testimony. I hope that it helped somebody. I hope that hopefully y'all learned something, maybe even just about me. I know we got a lot of new people on here to this page. Let me read these comments. Motivated. I'm glad this was motivating. Rich girl. Hey girl. 2021 was my first year, and woo girl, it probably almost took you out. Social media only gives you the smoke and mirrors that sometimes you have to sit back and refocus. Yep. And that's why it's really, really important that you are clear on what your journey is and what you're supposed to be doing, because it's real easy to come on this app or other apps and get down because maybe your views are low or your sales are low, and you know, just be like, oh, how come my business isn't doing this? Stop comparing yourself to what other people are doing, because you really don't know what's going on behind that business. Like I said, it's a lot of people out here making a lot of sales, but you just don't know what does that really look like. And not even when it comes down to like the money, but like, what does their heart look like, right? What does their heart look like? What is their life life and their dynamics of their relationships. That's another thing, that I had to take a step back towards the end of 2022 and say, I'm not going to run myself into the ground for this business. I'm not going to. That doesn't even make sense. If I run myself into the ground for this business, there will be no business. There just won't. I'll be too tired. So I won't have the mental capacity. That's why people, anxiety and depression and all of that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. God did not give me this business to give me anxiety, to give me depression, to make it so that I couldn't sleep at night. He didn't give me this business to damage my relationships with my kids, with my family, with my husband. That's not from God. So if that's happening, you have to take a step back and say, what do I need to do? So I did that because I was putting in a lot of time, and I made a decision when my kids come home from school, it's mommy time. It's mommy family time. At the end of the night, I'm not going to be, and some days call for it, right? But every night, I'm not going to stay up and my husband goes to bed and then I'm sitting working on my computer till 2 a.m. every single night. And then my husband's like, hello, what about me? God didn't give me this business to cause damage to my relationships, okay? So you have to think about that too. When you're seeing all these businesses on social media, you don't know what's really happening, all right? You just know what is being posted, and sometimes people go live and share things, and sometimes they don't. I don't share everything. I try to share things that I feel like, okay, this happened. I think this could help y'all. But some of the stuff, I don't believe I'm supposed to share, so I don't. Showing love from Miami. Hey. We are located in Louisville, Kentucky. The timing of God is perfect. Oh, whoops. Yes, it is. When God is the CEO, it's really on his timing, not mine. I learned this the hard way. Me too. Me too. He is always on time. And I have learned that just because I want something doesn't mean that's what God's plan is. And I'd much rather go off his plan than my temporary plan of what I think is going to make me happy or bring me success. Because a lot of times, like, God doesn't allow things to happen because, and I heard this in a sermon, I think by Pastor Mike Jr., if y'all have listened to him. He is down in Alabama. I think it's Alabama. With Rock City Church. He's a phenomenal pastor. He keeps it real, so get ready. But I think he said something like, people want their business to blow up and stuff, but you couldn't handle blowing up. Like, you would go crazy if your business literally blew up and you had 300 orders tomorrow. You would go crazy. So a lot of things that people are wishing for, you're not even ready for. And God knows that. And then, back to Pastor Stephanie Ike, y'all should definitely check her out. I think it was her who was saying, God is a process God. He's not A to Z God. He takes you through a process so that you can prepare and get ready and learn and grow. And he prepares you for each new step that he's going to take you on. But he's not boom, boom. Sometimes it is like that, but most of the time he takes us through a process, and a lot of times we don't like the process. But it don't matter what we like. Back to, sometimes the blessing is not something exciting. Sometimes the blessing is the problem. So yeah, y'all, I had to share this testimony with y'all. I just had to let y'all know that in 2023, I am still very much on my strategy game. Very much paying attention to what's happening. Very much being a good steward over my business. But in 2023, I'm not focused on hitting sales goals. I can't do it. It was too stressful. I don't need to. And so I'm not going to. I believe God really just wants me to focus on building this business, getting in front of more people that are interested in starting a skincare business or need help growing their skincare business. And that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm excited. She said, your voice is so soothing. Thank you. Y'all, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know if y'all been to St. Louis, but that's where I am originally from. So yeah, if y'all have any questions, drop them below. Like I said, I just had to share this testimony with y'all. I was literally in a state of shock, really. So if you're just coming on here, I shared a testimony of how God blew my mind on January 1st. She said, I fell in love with her voice from a reel, and that's why I started following. Now I'm hooked. She has so much information. Thank you. How are you liking the VIP group? I haven't seen you as active as when you first joined. I need help. I'm launching a new product, and I don't think I'm promoting it right. When are you launching it? Good. I'm glad you like it. I'm getting ready to drop an ad strategy in there later this week, so make sure you are on the lookout for that. But let me know when you're launching your product, because I posted to my stories earlier today that I am wanting to create a launch product guide to basically walk you through. This is for existing business owners, not for people who want to start a business, but for people who already have a business. Giving them a guide, like what to post, when to email, when to go live, what to do when you go live, all of that. Okay, good. You responded. Good. So you're launching it February 1st. Okay, I don't know that I'll have it. I don't know that I'll have it done by then, but since you are, have you done any type of promoting it yet? Three times for the group. So you should only be charged once per month. You should only be charged one time per month. So it's $5 a month. It's not $5 to join. It's $5 per month. But yeah, I don't know that I'll have the product out in time for you to launch February 1st. Because that's really quick. But let me know if y'all have any other questions. I did what you said. I took polls, been on live, posting in my story. Have you been sending any emails? Yeah, we can do a call. Send me a message about doing a call, because I'm getting ready to update my calls. Like right now, I just offer 30-minute strategy calls, and I'm getting ready to revamp my one-on-one calls, like completely revamp it to where we'll have calls for like pick your brain session. We'll have calls for like coming up with a strategy. We'll have calls for, there was one other one. For like Instagram audits. I think that was another one. So I'm getting ready to revamp all of it in the next like day or two. So send me a message and I'll send you the link once I get it updated. Because like the times and the price are going to change. My audience picked the scents, guess the product. I was going to do emails tonight, so it goes out 2 times a day. Okay. But yeah, we can definitely do a call together and get you get you more clear on your launch plan. Cause you should have like, every single day what you're doing. But if you're launching February 1st, that's a pretty long, launch plan. If you're just launching to like your existing audience, to be doing something like every single day. But yeah, we can talk about it. Can you do a website audit? Yeah, I do offer website audits. Yep. Yeah, I do offer website audits. Okay, you're doing a bundle. Yes, I love bundles. Let me know if y'all have any other questions before I hop off of here. Yeah, don't forget to send me an email, girl. Not an email, DM. It's a body oil for men and women. Ooh, nice. That's nice. That's perfect too, because you could use the scent for either. Like, you don't have to buy one for each person. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening to the testimony. I am going to save this replay for those of y'all who missed it or came in like at the end so that y'all can hear. It was kind of like a long story at the beginning, but I tried to give y'all some history of why this was really so powerful. Oh, I see. You'll have scents for both. Okay, so you'll have one for each. Okay. Well, that's nice too. That's like the perfect like couple bundle. All right, y'all. I love y'all. And I'm getting ready to post the replay. So if you have time, go back and watch it. Let me know if this was helpful for y'all. I hope it blessed somebody. And I'll talk to y'all later.